How's it going, boys? It's been, oh wait, you can't see that yet, you can't see it. That video's not out yet, and I don't want to spoil the surprise for you guys. Today we get to talk about some new animals that are over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. We have right now 3 new, well, I guess technically 4 with the surprise, but we'll get into that a little bit later. The head of the channel is nice enough to give these animals, and not only that, but their full enclosures and all the supplies that came with it. I mean, this is probably the most generosity I've ever gotten from someone. Getting all this stuff for free was just absolutely amazing. First pair we will be checking out, you guys will probably know pretty well because, well, we have a lot of them, but the second one was an animal that I've been looking to get for quite a long time, just for some reason never did it, and everything fell into place, and now we have it over here. So let's say we talk about some updates, what's been going on over here, and then get into those animals now. The tight squeeze over here. I don't usually film or have really anything but feeders in my little studio equipment over there, but this is where I'm putting them for right now because I do have a plan for these guys. Enough of the shenanigans, let's get to actually what's in this enclosure. So we're gonna start out with this one, and then we'll end off with my favorite. I can't believe this animal is so cool. I can't wait to show you guys, but that has to be a little bit later in the video. We need these ads to go so I make money. Here we have a Zen Habitat 2x2, which kind of special happening. So there are a pair of tokays in here, but what's really awesome is actually the female or the male. I don't remember which one. One of these tokays within this pair is actually one of mine. It was a tokay gecko that I sold someone about a year or so ago, and they ended up pairing it, and then they have a pair going on in here, which I'm like, oh, free tokay pair with a free Zen by Habitat? Yeah, I'll fucking travel 2.5 hours to get this bad boy. Absolutely awesome. The geckos themselves, they look fine, they look healthy. I'm not sure if I can get B-roll because they're inside these cork tubes. It's really hard to film them. But the issue comes with the enclosure itself, unfortunately. As you can see, this does look like a nice planted bioactive vivarium, but there's kind of a big issue going on, and it's... You guys know with Project Jungle, I've been doing bioactive vivariums recently. I'm up to 4. I think you guys have seen 2 right now. And there's a very important part that you can't miss. You can't not do this part. It's the lifeblood, the life supply. I think in my first one, in the first bioactive build I did, I call it the important step because it is very important. Granted, it's something when I very first started, not now, but years and years back when I was doing bioactive, I didn't really care much. There's no drainage layer. There's no drainage layer in here. That's not good. It's not a good thing. So the real issue with Zen habitats, if you are going bioactive, I guess it's not like a big issue, but you do need to seal it because they aren't watertight, and if water drains in to the drainage layer, it's going to drain out. This person decided to skip the drainage layer. I believe he said he used saran wrap or plastic wrap under the floor to hold the water in, but there's a big issue with that. See, you need the drainage layer to drain the substrate, so the substrate doesn't become waterlogged. Without that, the substrate becomes waterlogged, and then you get bacteria buildup, and when you get bacteria buildup, you get a smell. When a cage is going bad, when root rot is setting in the plants, and, well, when it smells bad, it's that reason. I'll end up, I don't know if I'm going to do it this video or just in my spare time, but I'll gonna empty out all the substrate, put some fresh substrate in here, take out all the plants, treat them. I'm assuming some root rot's going on there, so we'll have to treat some of the roots, repot them, put them in quarantine, and then put them into my plant collection that I have going on, which you guys probably don't know about. Big things coming very soon. We're plant boys now. I have like 70 plants. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I can just tell by what's going on with the plants, how the enclosure smells. There's pretty big bacteria buildup going on within the substrate itself. I don't believe there's also an adequate cleanup crew going on in here. I believe he said he used superworms. I see Morio beetles climbing around, and I assume that there's superworms in the substrate. He used retic shed to help establish it going. That's not necessarily a bad method. I don't think that's bad, but when you only have Morio beetles and superworms, for the substrate, you're just not gonna get that clean environment because you don't have every stage of that life that is going to be fixing everything. You can already see there's some fungus buildup, there's some mold going on. It's not the best, but I can fix it. It's not that big of a deal. I wish it didn't because it's so beautiful. If there's just a fucking drainage layer, this would be a really nice enclosure, but we do have to get the bottom of it, and it's nothing you could do, right? Like, I can't fix this. I have to tear it all out and redo the whole thing, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a bit of a bummer because it is a really nice looking cage. As is, there is some really fun news going on. There was only supposed to be a pair of tokay geckos in here, but there was a little bit of a surprise that came forth when I was moving this enclosure in here at night, and, well, first a little intermission. You guys can see on over here, we've been stepping up our appearance game a little bit. I want everything to look aesthetically pleasing while not trying to make any permanent adjustments because this is a temporary housing space for the collection. I think it looks pretty damn good. You know, we got some of the blackout curtains so you don't see the wood pile, the spare wood, so that kind of sneaks it up. We did some stuff with the hallway. When I first started Project Jungle, I wanted to make sure I had adequate lighting, so I didn't want to worry about that, so I just spent the heft of the money getting these little LED bars. They're not completely full spectrum, used for glow lights, but they'll get the job done, not just at the pace some might want. It does make the place look great. It brightens up everything, so I don't have these overhead lights, so it doesn't look like this. Yeah, you don't get glowing orb, washed out face, drowned out enclosures. This is, so sorry everyone that I filmed like this and you had to watch it like this, but now it doesn't look like this anymore. It looks like this. Very exciting stuff. Super happy with it. I think it came out great. Right on over here, we have our new little plant sector. I've got a couple little different grow lights on various sizes. So you got the ones up top, and then I do have a little bar down there as well, trying to propagate all our stuff. About that, I just want to take a brief intermission, show it off. Really proud of it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic now. Before, I just had some troubles with it. I can't wait to where all of these are just planted. You know, we'll have some plantariums here and here. This will all be planted, bioactive enclosures, custom backgrounds. Everything will look absolutely immaculate. It's just a matter of when I have time to start. Obviously, you gotta do it one step at a time. Anyway, let's get back to what that surprise was I was talking a little earlier. Funny enough, when I was talking to this guy, I think one of the reasons why he sold the toe case to me is because he wasn't having any luck getting them to get going, getting them to breeding. And he said, I believe he mentioned she laid like one egg a few months ago, but ended up eating it, so she was probably unfertile, and he has not seen any eggs or any babies since. Funny enough, when I brought this enclosure home and I went to check it out when I was shutting off all the lights, I see a little baby in the cork running around. He's like on the leaf plant and he jumps and hides back in the court with mom and dad, and I was like, oh, there's a surprise baby in here, which is pretty cool. That technically this is the first baby of the year. Granted, it's not bred by me, but it was one of my tokes, so I'm gonna claim it. So see a new baby toke gecko. This one will be available. It still needs, like, I'd say 3 to 4 weeks till it's old enough to get going, but after that point I'll probably list that baby and you can get the surprise baby from me getting an enclosure. Absolutely fantastic. A little bit creative here because there is no space to put a camera back here. Here we have the next enclosure, the one that I'm really excited about. In here, you guys can already tell right here, it's a snake. We usually don't get these. I only have one right now, technically 2. This is the second only thing at Dakota Blue Exotics. Real quick, before we get on with this video, I just want to take a few seconds to talk about the Patreon page. Now, over on the Dakota Blue Exotics Patreon page, we have some awesome behind-the-scenes bonus content that I don't show anywhere else, and some great perks as well. One of those perks I'm very excited to talk about. I actually took a lot of inspiration from Flawless Crested Geckos, and that membership is going to be the DBCB credit program. I absolutely love the credit program, and I'll kind of explain how it works. Pretty much for each dollar that is pledged for that membership goes into a credit account that's personalized for you. For instance, let's say you've been with the credit program for 10 months, which means you have $400 in credit. So if there's an animal you want from me that is $400, you can actually use that credit instead of money, which means you basically get the animal for free at that point. I mean, I guess if we're like using girl math, right? Not to mention there are some fantastic perks on top of that credit program already. That's going to be some discounted percentages off the animals, flat rate shipping. We have some great educational chat boards where we discuss how to build your own gecko reptile room, how to build a gecko breeding business, and how to build a reptile social media if you want to grow yours, how to start one out the right way, everything that goes into that. Whether you guys are looking to up your knowledge about geckos, get some awesome behind the scenes bonus content, be part of an awesome tight knit community, or maybe you guys just want to see the animals that I have for sale first before anyone else gets to see them, then Patreon's going to be the perfect place for you. That's something that might interest you guys. I have the link right down in the description. That'll take you right to our Patreon page where you can sign up. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get back into the video. Awesome. This is actually going to be an Amazon Tree Boa. For those of you that follow me around for a bit, you guys know I have wanted to start breeding Amazon Tree Boas. I feel like enough people are doing emeralds. There's not a point to get in there, but the Amazon market seems pretty low. Not a lot of people working with them, and they're just prettier in my opinion. They have mutations and colorations, whether that be phenotypical or an actual genetic mutation, but I like them better, and now I'm happy to have one. The really cool part about this is, well, you know what, but before we start talking, let's get this snake out. The only time we ever handled it, I did want to sex it, is a female, which is awesome, but it was cold when that was happening, so it wasn't as active. Now it's all warmed up. Right? We have the heat rack, the ceramic heat emitter going on it. It's gonna be warm, so let's see how this goes. I'm scared. Bros, just look at the way this thing's looking at me. I touched it and it's like, excuse you? Look how pretty it is. Hang on, I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna be a man. I need to find my snake hook. Find it. So we fashioned a snake hook ourselves. This is such a dumb idea. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, but this is definitely one of them. All right. Oh my God. Shit. I don't want to do this anymore. It's all tangled. How I need to get this. I don't know what to do. It's very angry at me. Are you kidding me right now? Look at this fucking thing. Jesus Christ. You know what? Maybe we won't take it out. No, no, no. It was coming after me. Are you kidding me? Look at... Are you fucking... You know what? Not feeling it today. I don't feel like I'm bit today. Nah, I'm good. I think you guys got enough. You got a good look at it. I'm not holding this fucking thing. There's actually some really exciting stuff. Luckily, this thing's a female, and I'm pretty sure... So Casey actually has an Amazon Tree Boa. I believe it's just the normal. I'm not really entirely sure. I barely see it. It's actually at a friend's house. But I believe that one's a boy. And if that's the case, while it is still a baby, it still needs probably another year to grow out. This female is a female. That boy is boy. What does that make? That makes a pair of Amazon Tree Boas, folks. That means potentially by 2025, we could be producing some Amazon Tree Boas if I understand how to do it. And given a year to research, I think I can get the task done. It's gonna be, this thing's just staring at me. Like, I can feel the daggers just digging into my eyes whenever I look at him. I pissed this animal off. I had a couple ideas for this enclosure. At first, I was going to rip it all down because it just doesn't look as good. I see what they were going with, but I want to take it to the next level. So at first, I was going to rip this all down, just screw perches in, because since this is PVC, you can just screw them into the wall, and then do a background on the back. The reason behind this is the stuff I used, Pond and Stone, it's very expensive. It's about $18 to $22 a can. It takes 2 cans to do one 2x2 wall, and then if I have to do 3 sides to match what the purchaser like, that's gonna end up costing me like I don't know, $70. I'll do math, nerds, and put them in the comment section if I'm wrong. You know what? I think the $70 is gonna be worth it. This is a really beautiful animal, and I can already picture all 3 sides being covered with the nice bioactive backgrounds we've been doing, moss and plants going on, really making this animal pop in it. I think the big issue right now is the fact that this animal kind of blends in. You got the beigey, sandstony like wood of the PVC Zen habitat, and then you got like a yellowish red animal. It kind of blends in. I don't want it to blend in. I want that animal to pop out, right? And I think the way to do that is creating a custom background on each side. So you see all this greenery and this little moss hanging off the wall, and then boom, this red snake in the center as a pop out. Whew, that's gonna look fucking awesome, man. It has to be on the back burner. It's gonna cost me a lot of money to do it, not only with plants and stuff. I'm gonna have to rip this all out, seal the whole bottom, put a drainage layer in. And then what I'll have to do is do the background, wait each side for it to cure. It's not as much as an expense. This enclosure will probably cost me about $150 to do. It's more the fact that it's going to be super time consuming. This will probably take 2 weeks to finish from front to bottom, including curing, background, plants, trying to get the snake out without getting bit. All of those things combined is going to take about 2 weeks. Look at that. Got it from going into the hide. Ooh. Well, the Amazon Tree Boa. It went into its hide a little bit later. This was a couple hours later, so I was able to get it out. What an absolutely amazing creature, man. The pattern is just beautiful. It looks like a red base, yellow spots, and then just some slight freckling of like some olive green. This is an amazing snake, man. One that I am slightly afraid of. Perfect. Just take a look at this creature that's getting very close to my face. Absolutely awesome, man. Look at this. Wouldn't lie if I was to say I'm not nervous at all. Amazon Tree Boas are known for their wily temperament. The guy actually asked me, he's like, have you held it yet? Did it bite you? So this is a point where we'll see. This is a fully warmed up animal, so we'll see how it goes, but it definitely was not handled regularly by the previous owner, if I can surmise from that comment itself. Man, this build is going to be absolutely awesome, man. A jungle theme for an Amazon Tree Boa right here. That'll end up being a breeding enclosure when the male is old enough. That is going to be something really special. I'm very surprised. She actually has a pretty good temperament. Usually when I handle Amazon Tree Boas, they're lighting up on you. They're trying to bite you constantly. You really got to make sure. But this one is... I stand corrected. Absolutely fantastic. All right, I got her out for the camera. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't do that. I'm putting her up. Your man's making me nervous. I don't know what to do. Guys, I don't work with snakes. Why did I put the pole down there? Okay. I really don't want to get bit in the face. Fuck, this was a terrible idea. I have an idea. Oh my god, I knew it! I lost the pipe. I'm in over my head. Tried to strike me twice, ended up getting me in the arm. Luckily I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. Jesus Christ, man. Alright, looks like she's going back into her hide. There we go. Woo! She musked on me or something because all of a sudden I smell like sewage diarrhea. Yeah, my hand smells absolutely horrendous. I'm gonna go try to get this off. It smells awful. I learn new things every day. Today I learned what boa musk smells like, and I learned that it doesn't really go away even if you use scalding hot water and soap. I got it down, it's just more of like a dull, assaulting odor versus what we had back there. So all in all, good enough. A few times, but I'll play it right here as well. If you guys want to see some of Project Jungle and how we are evolving this entire reptile room to be completely bioactive, check out this video right here of our very first build, or maybe you'd like to see the playlist that we have right here. As always, thank you so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I'll see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.